Welcome back, you beautiful fucks. It's me, Danny. Sorry if you heard my lips smacking as soon as I hit record. Was not intending for that to happen. Very disrespectful of me to your ears. Anyway, today we have a great video. Shout out to my sister. Have to show this off. She did get me the Entertainment Earth exclusive Mecha Godzilla. So, big shout out to her. I didn't know that she knew what Entertainment Earth was, or what the internet was. So I have to give big props to her. She did this for me because I was cat sitting, and it's a very, very thoughtful gift, especially because her cats trigger my allergies, specifically my eyes. If I pet a cat and then touch my face, my eyes will eventually become pretty irritated, and it's sad because I like cats. So, but thank you to her. Very nice. I'll probably get a sleeve for one of those Funko sleeves, but till then, let's keep it rolling. Alright, we're talking about Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, or Ghidorah. Say it however you want, I don't give a fuck. But we're talking about the 1991 movie, I believe that's the correct year, I might be wrong. Actually no, it should be right, 91, because 89 was Biollante, but this is Godzilla 91 here. It's a more recent Movie Monster Series figure. And definitely, actually, one of my favorite Movie Monster Series figures. I really like it. Has a good neutral pose, and it just looks very well with the detail, the paint, the sculpt. Very good job from Bandai. I believe I unboxed this one. The video is probably on the channel somewhere. And just a solid figure. I really like. It reminds me of their Millennium Godzilla, the Godzilla 2000. Again, I just like the neutral poses. Very basic yet well sculpted and painted figures, and this is one of them. So shout out to Bandai. You did good here, Bandai. You did good. Okay, no matter how many Heisei Godzillas we get, I have to give credit where it's due, and this is a solid one. Let him tail slide out of here. So, oh no, he's back. But come on, get him out of here. We gotta move on. Okay, what's next? Oh, we're doing a scaling. We're about to scale this with the Pop Funko. Oh, this guy. Who could forget? I did, even though I recorded this. This obviously is Godzillasaurus. Spoiler alert if you have not seen the movie. Obviously, remember they go back in time to kill the early Godzilla, which is Godzillasaurus here. And this is the one that the Americans and Japanese run into on that one island that I forgot the name of during World War II. It's a nice figure. I bought this pretty cheap because I don't know if you can notice, but his arm is broken. In fact, it's just straight up not there. There's a hole, there's a void. So I got it dirt cheap, and I'm perfectly fine with that because it's not really a favorite figure of mine. And at the time that I was buying it, and possibly still nowadays too, again, this figure is a little bit on the pricier side. I haven't checked recently, but I remember back then it was a bit more than what I wanted to spend for a Godzillasaurus. Let's be honest here. But I just went with this one, so I could get a discount. I don't need the arm. If I really wanted to, I'll put a toothpick in there, so he has a really, really thin, skinny arm. Okay, get him away from the camera. It's making me nervous. But still looks good. Again, giving credit where it's due. Oh, my ears are clogged. Fuck. How am I supposed to? Oh, I can't function. The balance. Everything's unbalanced. Oh, jeez. Anyway, two solid figures right here. They get the standing ovation. Just kidding, because we're moving on quick. Now we're looking at the main antagonist of the movie. I said antagonist, kind of weird. You know what I mean. The big bad of Godzilla. Yeah, really, just his arch rival, as some people would say, King Ghidorah. And here he/she is. This is the more recent Movie Monster Series figure. I believe this came out around the same time as the 91 Godzilla as well. That would make sense since they're from the same movie. And this figure looks very good. Again, another great job from Bandai, because the sculpt, the paint, even though it's a very simple paint job, I really do like it. It doesn't need to be extraordinary, although, I think maybe it's not as gold or yellowish as he is in the movie. It still looks very good. The sculpt on his head too, just Very nice job. Um, the Movie Monster series figures lately can be either hit or miss. Not the misses aren't that bad for the most part, but compared to what they used to do, they have some miss-ups here and there. But I'm happy to see some that they still can occasionally put out some really good figures. But we're moving on to this throwback right here. My God, I remember when I got this. This is a classic. Okay, this is a Movie Monster series, right? This is like early stages of the Movie Monster series, or was it still Godzilla Island? I forget. But anyway, this is, if you have been collecting Godzilla, have you seen this before? All right, the original Bandai 91 Ghidorah. I don't know. I just remember as a kid watching collection videos. This was always there, and for the longest time as a kid, I could never get my hands because it wasn't sold in America. You had to get it on eBay, and as a kid, I wasn't allowed to buy stuff off eBay, so I had to watch from afar, watch on YouTube. He's a bit dusty, but eventually I went to a comic convention, either like in Columbus, I think, and they had him there, and I was very happy to see it, and it came with a tag. Now, it was not attached, but I was still happy to have it. It's just something about it just made me feel like completely, I finally have that Ghidorah figure, and it made me very happy. And here's that comparison with Godzilla and the other Ghidorah. So surprisingly, the original Ghidorah figure is a bit taller, just slightly. In terms of heads, or even with the wings too, looking at it. Get Godzillasaurus out of here, please! Moving on. This guy. I'm so, like, I think it's just a regular Bandai figure. I kind of forget if they had series names. Like, I know there's a Movie Monster series, Godzilla Island. I don't know if there's other series names, because this is an older figure, obviously. This is an 8-inch scale 91 Ghidorah. I have two of them, one with the tag. It's a very beat up tag, but still try to protect it as much as I can before it falls apart. But here's one without the tag, and I really like this figure. The wings, I really like it for one specific reason. Now, in terms of paint, detail, and sculpt, it's not as good as the two other ones that we looked at, which probably sounds weird if I'm over here saying like, oh wow, you said it's one you like the most probably, but yet you don't like the paint or the sculpt or all that. Like, how could it be your favorite? It does something right. That it unintentionally does something right, which is scaling. Okay, as much as the sculpt and the paint and the details of those two that we just looked at are very well for what they are, when it comes to scaling, this 8-inch Ghidorah figure right here, can we please get rid of that Godzillasaurus figure? Here we go. Look at that. That 8-inch Ghidorah just scales so well with. Please get him off the screen, okay? But you see what I mean. The scaling's great, and that's why I feel. Here's Mecha King Ghidorah, Movie Monster series figure. Great addition. Also another one that's kind of iconic to me, at least. But I'm saying, like, 8-inch figures I think are very important to continue to make, because when we get these 6-inch figures of these big kaiju like Ghidorah, Biollante, Destroya in 6-inch scale, they don't scale well with 6-inch figures, despite being a part of that line. The 8-inch figures, though, typically will make up for that. Like with Ghidorah and Destroya, maybe even Space Godzilla if you consider him kind of a taller one. Biollante does not scale well no matter what scaling, unfortunately. But someone can, justify that. Maybe someone can fix that eventually, But there's my little rant. 8-inch figures are important. That Mecha Godzilla or Mecha King Ghidorah is really nice. We're looking at my finger here. I noticed while recording it was bleeding. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it got bit by something. Poked one of the horns from Ghidorah into my skin. And it bled. It's not safe for kids. Do not give this to your kids. I'm kidding. They're fine. They're soft fine. I was squeezing it right there too. Okay? But this is another one that's kind of special to me because I obviously had a Godzilla collection for a while that I started when I was a kid. But when I what kind of went crazy with collecting a couple years ago, like right before COVID started. I remember I was at work just scrolling through Amazon, and some Movie Monster series figures popped up of figures I had seen before when I was younger that I never had, and I see them now. They're on Amazon, and I couldn't get them. And one of them was Biollante, and the other one was that Mecha King Ghidorah. Not this one, the one before. And I was like, I have to get these. And that was the start of the rabbit hole that led me down into having such a massive collection. So I blame it on Amazon. Anyway, this right here is like a 12-inch, I think, Mecha King Ghidorah. And I remember seeing, like, it's kind of based off a little bit of the 8-inch sculpt of the 91 Ghidorah, just scaled up a little bit if you look at the head specifically. Obviously, different sculpt for the middle head and the wings and all that. But just a solid figure. I love that. This is obviously way too big to scale with 6-inch figures. But, you know, if you play Godzilla Domination, you remember Mecha King Ghidorah was the final boss, and he was pretty fucking big. Okay? If you played that for the Game Boy. Alright? Anyway, great figure. I remember seeing it on Showcase Daikaiju. I had to buy it, and when I tried to do it, he emailed me back saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't sell it. I just realized it's broken," and he didn't want to sell it because it was broken. I was like, okay, that's fine. And luckily, I found it on eBay for the same price, so I was very happy. It was a good price too back in the day, because I've seen it recently. It's like double what I paid. But all in all these figures are solid, and just great figures for a great movie. Just one of the solid Godzilla flicks, especially from the Heisei era. So let me know what you all think. If you like the movie, if you like these figures, if you have any, if you're looking for them, let me know. You can comment. My Instagram is down below if you'd like to reach out to me. And like and subscribe. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I need to remember to say that, because like every now and then I just get an influx of new subscribers, and I really do appreciate that. I'm glad we're growing. Okay, let's keep going to the moon until it's just pure world domination. Anyway, guys, I hope you all take care, and I'll see you all next time.